Hi, and welcome back to Ask a Monk. I'm going to be heading off to Thailand at the end of this month, so you probably won't have any videos from me until the end of the year. Maybe around Christmas I'll be back. Um, just an update, if you're keeping up with what's going on, we've been trying to get this forest meditation center off the ground. And the difficulty is that a lot of the people who have been meditating with me are, living in the city. They don't have the same kind of desire to get out of the city and into the countryside. So this place that we found wonderful, beautiful, that I was raving about, didn't get the best reception. Dangerous, far, um, too much, too difficult, and so on. Um, but in my heart, I think that's the kind of place that I'm looking for, rather than finding a place in the city, which would be a lot easier, but in the end, um, become cramped and actually make it quite difficult to run meditation courses there. I'll be going off to Thailand, and I'll be in the most rugged of conditions, and I don't think there's anything that you could find here in America that could compare to some of the things that we go through in the forest of Thailand. So just kind of readjusting and trying to figure out who's actually interested in a genuine forest center, which would probably be a little bit rugged, and maybe you have to put up some difficulty, but that's really a part of what we're doing here. Is to be able to give up our attachments to self and to comfort, to things like personal security and safety. Our fears, our phobias. A lot of it's just things like being afraid of ghosts and just afraid of the dark and afraid of the quiet and afraid of the forests and so on, which is why we go into the forest. The Buddha said that the forest is very difficult if you're not able to give up these things, and that's why we go into the forest, to test ourselves out whether we can give these things up. Sometimes as monks we go and stay in the cemeteries or where they burn dead bodies and so on, just to test ourselves, to help ourselves let go. Okay, so yeah, I'm going away for a couple of months, and it's kind of extended. I was originally going to go for just a short time, but I've extended it because this project is probably going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Some of the key supporters are kind of backing out or putting on an ultimatum: either find a place in the city or we're not interested. And so rather than compromise to that extent, I'd rather put it off and wait until I can really pull people around to the idea of finding something that's a little more ideal and closer to what we're looking for. Either that, or we find a new place that we can all agree on. So just an update there, and let you know that I'll probably be doing some videos in Thailand, because the environment really helps out with that. Makes a nice backdrop for the DVD that I did, as you can see. And but I'll probably have those videos up when I get back. Doing some Ask a Monk stuff there if I bring some questions along, or maybe I can check my email and get questions during the time I'm in Thailand and so on. Okay, so anyway, on to the question. This next question is from Neng Chan Bodhi. Can you describe the difference between Buddhist meditation and the silent sitting meditation techniques used in Qigong healing or medicine practices? Could the Qigong meditations be thought of as a guided or suggestive, or even maybe shamanic? It's hard for me to comment on meditations outside of the Buddhist tradition, or even outside of my specific type of Buddhist meditation. Generally, if it's something that has to do with what I do, then I'll talk about it. If it doesn't relate to what I do, then I try not to pass judgment. So I got called out for not recommending certain meditation courses, and that's just because I don't practice that way, and so I don't know why I would recommend it. It's not that I think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not what I do, so it's not for me to recommend it. So for me to talk about Qigong meditation, um, so from the point of view of what I do, these types of meditation are meditation to create something. Now, one of the ways to look at what are the key differences between meditations, and the meditation that I teach and what we do is not to create anything, except a clear understanding of what's already there. So whatever arises, you're just going to look at that. And it's more like taking away. A lot of people complain about practicing for a while, not getting anywhere, nothing's happening. And it's funny because you can always point out, well, what do you mean nothing's happening? How, what does that mean in your mind? How do you feel when you get this feeling that nothing's happening? Well, you feel bored or so on. Well, then there is something very important there, and it's a state of discontent with reality. So Qigong is, as I understand it, a way of of altering the state of reality to create a state of health. As I understand, yeah, you talk about Qigong healing, so it's a method of healing the body. I personally believe that there are forces that run through the body or in reality that can be harnessed. And you can feel this in meditation. Sometimes you get this great power and strength inside, but it's not what I teach, and it's not what I'm involved in. My practice and what I encourage for other people is to let go, is to be able to put up with sickness, to put up with things as they are. There's a reason why you're here. It's your path. It's where you're going. And to the extent that you can put up with them, you'll be far better off spiritually. I don't want to detract from these practices. If someone is sick and they want to go see a Qigong healer, fine. If you want to go see a Western doctor, fine. If you want to go see a Chinese doctor, fine. If that's your thing, great. And if you feel that it's going to support your spiritual practice to be healthy and so on, fine. I would say that in some cases that's probably true. If you have a debilitating illness and you feel that it's getting in the way of your practice, or it can even get in the way of you living your life, getting a job and so on, then these things can be great and they're a real help in a worldly sense. But from a spiritual point of view, I don't really see the benefit. If you talk about any direct spiritual gain that you get from it, because you're still creating and you're still holding on, you're still clinging to the idea of being healthy and so on. This meditation is on another level. It's the letting go, the ability to be sick and still be content, to get old and still be content, to die and still be content. So there's no idea that we should live longer or be healthier or so on, have some spiritual strength in our body or so on. We're trying to accept things as they are and to let go. And in the end, really, enlightenment is if you truly become enlightened, you really have no interest in living on. And I would say, by extension, the more you practice meditation, really, the less interest you have in being strong, being healthy, being long-lived, and so on. You don't really have any desire for anything. You become less clingy, and you don't pass judgment on things. So you're able to live freer. Now, the argument that people generally use is that, yeah, but until you become enlightened, you need to be healthy and you need this and this and this. To some extent, yes, but I would guarantee that for most people it's still an attachment, and it gets to the point where we're worried about our health, where we're concerned that we're not getting enough of this, enough of that, and we're concerned that we're unhealthy. When we get sick, it bothers us, and so on. If you can separate yourself from this mental upset and rationally say that, yeah, okay, I have to go see a doctor because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do meditation, or otherwise it's just going to get in the way of my concentration and so on, then fine, yeah, I think power to you. But there's a great difference between this sort of healing and what we're doing. So I hope that's clear. thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone for your support. Some people actually sent some donations to our nonprofit organization, and many people are offering their support. Some people are actually saying they're going to show up if we're ready. Some people saying, "Hey, I'm coming in January. Will you be ready by then?" I'm not sure at this point. January, probably you can come by, but you might just be staying in an apartment underneath the one I'm in, or even in the same apartment as me while we look for a place. But power to you. If you're coming out, you can be a support, and I can show people, can say, see, here's people who really want to practice, people who see this going this idea of a forest meditation and are so gung-ho that they're willing to come and put up with me in this apartment. So you're welcome to come by. We have a couple of apartments that we can probably request on a short term if you're interested. Okay, so keep in touch. Let me know if you're coming, if you'd like to help, and so on. If you'd like to help, you can click on our website, sirimangalo.org. And again, thanks for the questions. If you have questions, keep them coming.